Story time, let me tell you about my worst date ever. I was dating this guy for 2 months and I was ready to tell him that I loved him already because I was young, dumb, and in love. So I had this romantic day trip planned out. The first thing that went wrong was that I left my wallet back at home, so I had to drive back, parked in front of the no parking zone for what I thought was going to be just 30 seconds, but he wanted to come in and fool around. And so when we came out, we got a parking ticket. It was $250 and I was so upset, and he didn't understand why I was so upset, which is a red flag right there. Then we got to this lighthouse during sunset and I thought we were going to sit there and I was going to tell him that I loved him. But no, he was restless and decided to climb down the cliff, sit on a rock right near the water, and we got hit by a big wave that almost took us away. So we just left, and it was his turn to drive the 2 hours back, but he was too tired, so he had to take a nap on the side of the road in the dark. While napping, he jumps up, looks out the window, starts screaming, and I think, great, there's a murderer, we're gonna die. It was nothing. He had a night terror. A few weeks later, he had the audacity to ask why I didn't say I love you yet.
This girl who used to bully the shit out of me DM'd me on Instagram. We are going to call her Emma. Emma DMs me and she's like, hey, we should meet up at Starbucks. I want to catch up. I want to tell you stuff. And my dumbass was like, okay, let's do it. But the day comes when we're meeting up. So obviously I took an Uber there. I was gonna be a little late, so I called Emma and I was like, hey, my Uber's taking long. Can you please get my drink so we can talk more and I'll pay you back? And so she said she would, so it was cool. I get to Starbucks. So me and Emma are drinking our drink, and then I start feeling very sick to the point where I was fainting and throwing up really bad. So I went to the bathroom and this lady followed me into the bathroom and told me that the girl that I was with, Emma, put a pill in my drink, and I was gonna go confront Emma about it, and by the time I went back, she had ran away. So I ended up calling an Uber to go home because I was not feeling well at all. Like, I was dying. The Uber comes and guess who is in the Uber? Emma! She locks the doors immediately. Cause my heart goes oh my god, can't believe what I've become. I'm thinking things I shouldn't think, singing songs I've never sung. Oh my god, when I see you I should run, but I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to stop. Feelings I feel about us. Try to.
Sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, sugar, how you get so fly?
Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in the winter wonderland. The sleigh was red. Are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in the winter wonderland. In the meadow, we can build a snowman. We'll pretend that he is white and brown. He'll say, are you?
Dinosaurs eating people. Dinosaurs in love. Dinosaurs having a party. They eat fruits and cucumber. They fell in love.
Then what they do?
They say thank you. A big bang came and they died. Dinosaurs fell in love, but they didn't say goodbye. But they didn't say goodbye.
I like them chocolate cocoa puffs. I like them chocolate cocoa. So I hope you know what I mean when I say, let me take you dancing. Two-step to the bedroom. We don't need no dance floor. Let me see your best move.
Story time, let me tell you about the time I went to the ER because of a bag of chips. I'm not naming names, but I think you can guess. So I woke up in the middle of the night with horrible stomach pains and was glued to the toilet. So I called my nurse line and they said if it was really bad, I can go to urgent care, or if I can wait, I can go to the doctor's in the morning. And me being super cheap, even though I was in so much pain, I was like, all right, I'm gonna save $50 and go to the doctor's in the morning. So I went to the doctor's the next day and they did some tests on my stomach, and my doctor told me that I had to go to the ER right away because she thinks I have appendicitis and it can rupture at any moment. It was not what I was expecting at all. I literally thought I just ate a bad bag of chips and now I'm on the verge of dying. And at this point, I wasn't talking to my family at all. I hadn't talked to them in 2 months because some real shit went down, but I knew I had to call them just in case. And so I called my mom and she was bawling, and I am so sorry, but I have to do a part 2. Okay, so here's part 2. So I called my mom and she's crying and I'm like, okay, well, that's gonna have to be put on hold because I'm at the ER right now and I'm about to die, which is, I think, any mother's just worst nightmare ever. But I told her not to come because I don't know what's actually going on. And I forgot to mention, I was supposed to be in San Francisco that night and I was supposed to fly out. And at this point, I had no idea if I was going to make that flight or not. So I go into the ER and my doctor is fine as hell. Like, I couldn't even pay attention to what he was saying. He was so good looking. But he basically tells me that what my doctor said was false. I was fine. It was just a stomach infection or something. And then he handed me my prescription and was like, here's some pills to help you with your diarrhea. And I died of embarrassment. He also told me I shouldn't get on a flight if my stomach was feeling that way. So I missed my flight and I had to cancel my trip. All of this because of a bad bag of hot.
So at the beginning of the year, I was feeling really salty about my Instagram growth for my business, or lack thereof. And so I just decided, okay, maybe I'll just put my efforts into my TikTok. And if I make a video a day, I'm gonna see if I can get to 10K followers by the end of 2021. And on January 30th, I started doing that and I didn't miss a day. And then on February 18th, the other day, I woke up to 10K followers, which was crazy. This account grew so fast that I made this cookie to celebrate, and by the time I decorated it, I was already at 14K. So now I need to know, what should I do with this account? What do you want to see more of? Do you want cookie decorating, just straight up cookie decorating videos? Or do you want tips and tricks? Or what do you like to see? Because I like it here. I think I'm gonna stay. Okay, I think it's time for me to address the major question that I get, which is, how do I order from you? And the answer to that is, unless if you live in Minnesota, you really can't. Because I am a cottage food producer, which means that I am allowed to bake and sell cookies out of my home kitchen. But in the state of Minnesota, it is illegal for me to ship them anywhere. I would have to get a commercial license and a commercial kitchen in order to do that, and that is just not something I'm interested in doing right now in my life. So if you want a way to support me since you can't buy from me, just give my video a like, interact with it, and follow me on Instagram. Keep it coming. Love you guys.
Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I'm held when I am falling short. Oh, you say I'm yours.
frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought me some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. And the fire
5, 6, 7, 8. Dance with me in my backyard, boy. Looking super fine in your corduroy. Drive me round the block, we can go in a loop, and we'll turn the vibe up on some good boy band tunes. I feel the fresh air, I can feel your eyes staring. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bit scared. My heart is on wings and living in dreams, and at the top of our lungs we see.
Georgie. What a nice boat. Do you want it back?
Yes, please.
You look like a nice boy. Do you want a balloon too, Georgie?
I'm not supposed to take stuff from strangers.
Oh, well, I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown. Now we aren't strangers, are we?
I should get going now. I'm not supposed to take.
I always felt my grandpa and I had a really special connection. He was kind of just like a big kid. After he retired, he decided to work at Camp Snoopy in the theme park just because he loved Camp Snoopy so much. And when I was younger, he would take me to the Disney movie every single summer for my birthday and take me to the Disney store afterwards to pick out whatever figurine I wanted to match the movie. He even took me on a trip to Walt Disney World with my mom, just me, no other grandkids. We just always had that special connection. And when he got older, he started suffering from dementia. And I went to pick him up for Thanksgiving. And when he got to our house, he said, "Who was it that picked me up?" He didn't even really recognize me anymore. And I said, "Grandpa, it's me, your favorite granddaughter." And he just looked at me and smiled and said, "That's right."
Baby, please, can't let her grow up in that ghetto university. Lights, cop lights, flashlights, spotlights, strobe lights, street lights. All of the lights, all of the lights. Fast life, drug life, thug life, rock life, every night. All of the lights. Everything's okay. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Oh yeah. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
So I did a lot of online dating in my 20s because I was a teacher and really never had an opportunity to meet guys my age. And at the time I was teaching and living in a small town. But I found that when I put that small town on my dating profile, I really wasn't getting many guys that were similar to me. So I lied and I changed my location to Minneapolis, which was really close to where I grew up and really only about 30 minutes away. And this guy started messaging me, and we really hit it off right away in the messages. And it didn't take long for him to ask me on a date. And I knew I was going to have to come clean with him, and that there would be a good chance he would totally ghost me after he found out that I lied. So I just came out with it and said, hey, just so you know, I don't actually live in Minneapolis. I live in this small town. And he said, great, that's actually where I grew up. I know the perfect place to take you. And now we're married.
Slow, or make it go faster, down through the woods and out to the pasture. Long as I'm with you, it really don't matter. Climb up in my lap and drive if you want to. Girl, you know you got me to hold on to. We can go to town, but baby, if you'd rather, I'll take you for a ride on my big green tractor.
Okay, can I just say that I have been working on my business Instagram for the last 3 years, trying to gain a following. And those 3 years, I have always just kind of felt like I'm the nerdy girl who is looking in on all the popular girls, wondering how to break through. And I decided I would just start working on my TikTok, and the last few days, I feel more seen here than I've ever been before on my Instagram. So thank you.
You can drink my liquor, you can call my lady, you can take my money, you can smoke my blunt, scuff these Jordans, you can say you hate me, you can call me crazy, but don't touch my truck. Don't touch my truck.
Among Us.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Who is this?
Who are you trying to reach?
What number is this?
What number are you trying to reach?
I don't know.
Well, I think you have the wrong number.
Do I?
It happens. Take it easy. Hello?
I'm sorry, I guess I dialed the wrong number.
So why'd you dial it again?
To apologize.
You're forgiven. Bye now.
Wait, don't hang up.
What?
I want to talk to you for a second.
They've got 900 numbers for that. See ya.
You know I'm just a flight away. If you want it, you could take a private plane. A kilómetros estamos conectando. Y me prendes aunque no me estés tocando. You know I got a lot to say. All these voices in the background of my brain. Y me dicen todo lo que estás.
Long walks in the dark through woods grown behind the park. I asked God who I'm supposed to be. The stars smiled down at me. God answered in silent reverie.